Hey, Wrong World Entertainment, and the new animated movie Predator Killer of Killers left us with a big reveal in the franchise. We saw Naru, the hero from Prey, still alive but frozen inside a Predator stasis pod. Just one of thousands though of living trophies. This confirmed a very new piece of lore. When you defeat a Predator, you aren't set free, you're collected. Now, that made a lot of people kind of question things, but if I told you that Naru wasn't supposed to be the only hero we saw, what if recently revealed concept art shows another legendary Predator Slayer was meant to be in a pod right next to her? And no, this time we're not talking about Dutch. In fact, it was a reveal that was cut from the final film, but it's one that we were kind of questioning after we saw the flintlock. And it's about Danny Glover's Lieutenant Mike Harrigan. Now, there is an article here on AVP Galaxy that we're going to take a look at where this concept art shows up. Yes, Harrigan was meant to be in Killer of Killers, but they decided not to use the character, which then leaves the question still being asked of what time period are they actually brought to. So let's take a look at the article here. Now, it's not a massive article, so we don't have to go too deep into it, but it's saying one of the controversial parts of Predator Killer of Killers was indeed the final act, where the three heroes, Ursa, Kenji, and Torres, are captured, held in stasis, and brought to an arena on a Predator planet to fight. That's not all. In the closing moments of the film, as Predators are moving Ursa's stasis tube, we see hundreds, maybe thousands, of stasis chambers containing alien creatures and human beings. In one of them, there is none other than the Comanche warrior Naru, held in stasis. The implication being that every person who kills a Predator is at some point captured by the Predators and held in stasis. This week, Michael Blackbear Uwandi has been sharing his concept art that he did for Predator Killer of Killers. Earlier in the week, he posted some art of Amber Midthunder's Naru character, but yesterday he revealed some art of Predator 2's Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, who would have been in a stasis chamber alongside Naru. The time frame when the arena battle in Predator Killer of Killers takes place is left ambiguous in the film. The Harrigan artwork must mean that it must take place after Harrigan's battle with the City Hunter in 1997. This also explains how the Predators managed to retrieve Raphael Adoloni's flintlock pistol. Naru had been given it by Raffaelli in 1718 before Greyback gave it to Harrigan as a reward in 97. At some point after that, the Predators gave it to Torres in the arena battle. We do have a lot of issues with the idea that every hero ultimately ends up kidnapped and held in stasis. This story concept isn't completely from left field. Back before Rodriguez's Predators was made in 2010, there were a few Predator 3 scripts making the rounds in Hollywood. One of them was called The Zoo, which included both Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch and Danny Glover's Harrigan. Both characters had been captured and brought back to the Predator homeworld. So you can see the artwork that shows that, yeah, he's meant to be in the movie. However, the fact that he's not actually in the movie and this was not used still then brings the question around of, well, when was this arena battle taking place? Because even in my review, we're saying, okay, so the flintlock is given to Naru. Naru defeats a Predator. That is a flintlock that ends up with who's called Greyback, the elder Predator, in Predator 2. That then gives it as a trophy to Danny Glover for defeating one of their own. That's set in 1997. The fact then that in this movie you get the three characters of Ursa, who's a Viking from 185 or something, I think the date was. We get Kenji, the only person whose date we weren't given, and Torres from 1942. Then they're brought to this arena. Now, we see Torres, and he's the only one we see getting taken by the Predators. We don't know how long he's in the stasis chamber before he's brought out. But then, of course, the weapons they're given to use is meant to be weapons from their civilization and their people, as they say. So Ursa's given her swords, or her axe, I think it was. Kenji is given the samurai sword, and Torres is given the flintlock. And it is that flintlock. And then, of course, we see Naru. The fact that we only see Naru and that Harrigan is not there would indicate then that this has to be taking place before Predator 2 and well before Predator 2, because again, it seems to be given to him by this warlord Predator, this big huge one. That's not who has the gun when it's given to Harrigan though. It's given to the greyback Predator, or I should say the greyback Predator is the one who gives it to Harrigan. So he has it, this elder Predator, who no is not meant to be that warlord, because the warlord is even bigger. He's one of the biggest predators there is. So the fact that the character of Harrigan was designed to be in the movie, the fact that they decided to go against it and cut it, means where does Killer of Killers actually take place in that last scene? When is it? Are we past the point of Predator 2? Are we well before Predator 2? Are we even before the first Predator? We're not 100% sure. But what is now confirmed is that yes, the idea of having Harrigan in there was there. So if Harrigan was going to be in there and stuff, and the fact that Naru's there and that we're seeing all these people being taken, it like confirms that the victory we all cheered for back in the 1990s was never the end of his story. You know, Harrigan, the cop who hunted the hunter, basically was always destined to become just another prize in a massive, terrifying collection. So it's this thing that they've added to this lore that doesn't quite work for a lot of people, which is, oh, if you win, you're just going to get taken anyway, to then have to fight the other person who won against the Predator and the Yautja, and then you're going to have to fight the biggest Yautja. Like, it makes no sense realistically. It is a weird bit of lore they've added to it. It's not a very popular part of lore they've added to it, especially when we've seen that the Yautja have an honor code, and part of that code is even, oh, you defeated one of our best, here's your trophy, and they give you something back. So yeah, it's interesting, but it is interesting to know that they were going to have him in there, and of course they've been talking about trying to bring Dutch back as well. So we'll wait and see what the future holds. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Cheers, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.